out there, at least his name, the
Seth.
creator of Family Guy.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane, thank you, is trying to keep Van Halen in the public conscience.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Seth.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. And I'm wondering what Van Halen must have thought about it. They must have got a kick out of it, seriously. And speaking of Van Halen, the former lead singer, David Lee Roth, he has been busy during the quarantine. And what has he been doing? He's spending time focusing on his artwork. Diamond Dave has been releasing his drawings via Twitter. One of the comic strip he's doing is called The Soggy Bottom. There are like 4 different drawings I think that he put up. A lot of them have these frogs that are fighting, and he had one drawing of himself flying a plane on the cover of the Daily Catastrophe, which I thought was so funny. And he said, "Housebound hijinks, lockdown laughs." So I guess he's keeping busy during the quarantine. What did you think of those drawings, Dave?
Looking at Dave's drawing is like listening to Dave. It's like Bozy Bop. Sometimes I'm trying to figure out where he's going with them. He's a good artist.
Yes.
I like the artwork, but I guess I'm a little slow because sometimes I'm trying to figure out what the punchline.
Well, you know, it's a thinker, Dave. It's a thinker. You got to really kind of get deep in there. You know, Dave is not one surface. He's like an onion, many layers.
No, I know. It's like diver down. You got to look underneath.
That's right. And last episode, we talked about the Ted Templeman book. Ted Templeman, A Platinum Producer's Life and Music. And Ted did a little promotion for his book. He did an interview with Ultimate Classic Rock, and he was praising the living hell out of Sammy. And in the interview, he said, "Sammy may be the greatest singer out there, period." And he said, "He's a combination of Robert Plant and James Brown. That guy can sing like nobody. He doesn't know how good he is even. The guy is, I think, the best rock singer on the planet, period." That's quite high praise, right, Dave?
Very high praise.
Absolutely.
It was very impressive that he was speaking of Sam so highly. I was like, wow, how much tequila did Sam throw him for that compliment?
No, I must have cases and cases of Mesquila sent his way. And then he talked about how he wanted Van Halen to change the band's name. He says, "Call it something else if you're going to be in the band. It's just not Van Halen without Dave to me." And he also talked about, before Van Halen, I had a plan for Sammy to do a Prince-type thing. He said, because he's the only guy who could sing rock and roll and soul. I mean, he can sing soul like James Brown, and people don't even know it. I had a whole thing planned out for him, but no, he and his manager wanted to be in Van Halen, and those guys wanted a guy who could really sing, because Dave is not a singer like Sammy. So, I tell ya.
I don't think Sam made the wrong choice, by the way.
No, of course not. No, of course not. I think history speaks for itself, for sure. And speaking of Sam, boy, has this guy been unbelievable during the quarantine. So the incredible thing is The Circle has been releasing these lockdown challenges. We talked about it last time, and they got 3 more. Wow, he came out and they did Good Enough, where Sammy was wearing a mask. They did 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley and Whole Lotta Rosie by AC/DC. And let me tell you, this was unbelievable. Take a listen to Good Enough.
When it's good enough, I can't get enough, can't get enough. She's good enough,
Dave, I have to tell you, this band sounds so good. I mean, I was so jealous that they haven't added this to the set list, because Jason talked about it when I interviewed him, that they have been doing it in the dressing room. Oh, they sound fantastic doing it. I wasn't crazy that Sammy covered up his mouth with the mask. I didn't think that made sense. I know he was trying to be funny and stuff like that, and recognizing the times we're living in, but wow, do they sound good, don't you think?
Yes, they sounded great. I'm loving those jams they're doing. They're loose, and they're picking great songs. I thought 3 Little Birds, perfect for the times, inspirational. And they're just having a great time and having fun with it and rocking out. And I think these guys, when they're done, they should put out a compilation of these things and just put it out that way, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
they sound so good. Here's a clip of 3 Little Birds.
Now don't you worry about a thing.
And now here's a clip of Whole Lotta Rosie. And I tell you, it just goes to show you that this band is hot as hell. I can't get enough of these. I got to be honest with you. I wish I had one every day. And let me tell you something. It really reiterates and backs up what Ted Templeman said, which is you could pull Sammy out of bed. He said this in his book. And put a microphone in front of him, and he'll sound amazing. And holy crap, Dave. This guy's singing raw. That's raw, right? And Mike.
Yeah, and in one of them, he was singing in the bathroom, right?
It was unbelievable. I mean, who the hell sounds like that? And wow,
he's got a gift, and he's still going strong with it.
Oh yeah,
I'm just glad even though they're just having fun and jamming on older songs. At least they're out there putting out stuff. I think that's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let me tell you, like you said, I am all for a compilation of covers or something loose and fun. You know what I mean? I think they could really do something with this. I mean, Jason sounds amazing. Mike is tremendous. Wow, can you really hear Mike's bass and Mike's background vocals? And Vic is unreal. Unbelievable. They are really such a good band.
Yes, and the videos, too, they're starting to put some life into them. Not that they weren't unlively before, but they're putting some character in it, having some fun with it, making some jokes.
There's a little more production. There's a little more joking around.
Right.
It's kind of fun where they're like, they're calling each other, and, Mike's saying, oh, I smell coffee, and Sammy's sipping coffee. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's hysterical. Sammy is singing. His wife hands him a hot cup of coffee. He takes a sip of coffee and goes right back into singing. I don't know how he pulls it off. I have to be honest with you. But he's that
good, that guy.
Oh,
he's that good.
He's unbelievable. Speaking of Sam, his son, Andrew Hagar, his second son, dropped a single, Judgment Day. And it was not a cover, believe it or not, of Sammy's 1991 Van Halen song of the same title, but more of an old bluesy stomp. It was kind of funny. It was the same name. What did you think of the song, Dave?
I wasn't all that enthralled with it, actually.
Yeah.
It didn't do much for me.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with it, but here's a clip of it right now. Now, a former Van Halen lead singer, Dave, believe it or not, on Easter Sunday dropped a little surprise, which was Gary Cherone did a cover of Kanye West's song, God Is. I guess Gary's a highly religious guy, and I have to say that Gary's voice sounds amazing on this clip. Take a listen.
Every time I look up, I see God's faithfulness, and it shows just how much He is miraculous. I can't keep it to myself. I can't sit here and be still. Everybody I will tell till the whole world is healed. King of kings, Lord of lords, all the things He has in store. From the rich to the poor, all are welcome through the door. You won't ever be the same when you call on Jesus' name. Listen to the words I'm saying. Jesus saving now.
Wow, I really think Van Halen misused him. Every time I hear Gary's voice, this guy is a major talent, severely overlooked. Kudos to Gary. What did you think of this song, Dave?
I thought he sang it well, but again, it's not my style of music, so it didn't really do much for me.
Absolutely, but now here's another surprise. I don't think many people know about this. So, I was just tooling around on the internet, and I came across a Gary Cherone concert date, like a solo. And I said, what the hell is this? I look it up. It's Gary Cherone, lead singer of Slip Kid, a celebration of The Who. He's doing a Who tribute band with his brother Mark.
Oh, okay. He's done that before.
Really? Well,
Yes.
With his brother?
Yes. So remember, this was back in 2006 when he did about 3 dates with...
Yeah, you saw
Billy
it.
Sheehan, yes.
Yeah,
and
Billy
he did
and
it with,
Mike Portnoy.
And Mark and the guitarist from Mr. Big, the original guitarist
Was
from
it
Mr.
called
Big.
Slip Kid?
No, it wasn't. It was called, I forget what it was called, to be honest with you. It escapes me, but it wasn't called that. But anyway, he did like 3 shows with them, and he liked it so much that he kept on doing the Who tribute thing with his brother as the guitarist.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently they have a band, a website called slipkidband.com, and they have a date on the book, Saturday, August 15th at the Chance Theater in Poughkeepsie, which is right where my daughter goes to school. And the band is with his brother Mark, and I don't know what's going on, because is he moonlighting outside of Extreme? Extreme has a new album that they are finishing, apparently mixing right now, and they're ready whenever, I guess, things start up again. But I was shocked to see this. I knew about the thing that you went to that years ago, but I didn't know that this was continuing. That was a long, long time ago.
Well, it was. I was continuing after he did that. I mean, obviously it's over, it's like 10, 15 years since he's done it. But I guess him and his brother are back on that kick again.
Absolutely. Well, more Van Halen news. Believe it or not, we talked about Valerie Bertinelli. Now we're talking about David Bertinelli. Well, who the hell is that? Well, that's Val's brother, and he is a photographer. Now, reason I know him is because remember back in the day when we all used to read magazines and we'd see full-page ads of Ed doing all kinds of guitar ads. All those photos used to be taken by David Bertinelli, Valerie's brother. He's a professional photographer. I'd see his name on the side. He apparently went on tour with Van Halen and used to shoot all kinds of pictures, and he's got a treasure trove of photos. He takes beautiful, beautiful shots of Ed, some incredible pictures that you have seen over the years. You don't even know were taken by him, but they were. And he is apparently putting together a Van Halen photo book, which sounds really interesting. And apparently he's getting some help from good old Greg Renoff, our friend, the author of Van Halen Rising, and Ted Templeman, a Platinum Producer's Life and Music, as well as Caleb Rappaport. And that should be interesting, considering that he has so much access to Ed, and especially during the Sammy years. I think he used to go on tour with them, and David used to shoot all kinds of shots of Ed, and all those guitar ads, those beautiful ones you'd see Ed on the beach and all kinds of stuff. That was all done by David. What do you think of that?
That'll be exciting. Always look forward to a Van Halen book.
Yeah.
And David definitely had close access to the band. So I say bring it on. Any Van Halen book is a good one for me.
Absolutely. And interesting enough about David's photography, very, very rich colors. He's got nice texture to his photos. Very vivid, very rich. It should make a beautiful book. Whoever does it, I hope they give him real prominence, because this could be really something spectacular, because he really had a lot of inside stuff. And that should be great. Now, speaking of Greg Renoff, now we spoke to Greg last time, and we had Dave an epic episode last time.
It was an epic throwdown of immense proportions.
It really was. It was our longest episode yet. I think it was over 5 hours. My Lord. It was like an SAT, Dave. It was unbelievable. So, but the funny thing is, Dave, is that I just don't have enough. I don't have enough. So what did I do? Because I'm a goddamn madman. I actually contacted Greg Renoff because we were going to do this Van Halen news item about David Bertinelli. So I said, you know what? Let me contact Greg about the Dave Bertinelli thing and ask him about how he's helping him out. So I have 3 extra questions that I asked Greg, because after I asked him 1, I had to ask him 2 more that were sticking out in my head. So we're going to have a little Q&A right here. So the first question I asked Greg was about his involvement with David Bertinelli's Van Halen photo book. And here's what he said.
Hey, Dave and Dave, it's Greg Renoff here. You asked me about David Bertinelli's interest in doing a book. The only thing I would say in terms of my quote-unquote involvement would just be I'm just offering up my assistance to Dave in any way I can in terms of trying to find a publisher or to help him just conceive of how to move forward with the project. I'm here for him to do whatever he would ask, but beyond that, I'm just serving as a springboard for his ideas, and I very much hope he will do a book of photos of Van Halen of the 80s and beyond.
Now, because I'm even crazier, I had to go further with my interview. So we talked about his next project, and he mentioned that he's doing another Van Halen book. He has this in the works. It's going to be coming out, in the future, but it's something, he says, I have another Van Halen book in me. And as the interview was going on so long, I felt like I didn't get enough meat on that bone, you know what I mean? So I asked him to elaborate a little more here on